Welcome to the Daily WIP, the show where we discover everyone is becoming a media company. On the show today, we're talking deeply about thread. I'm aware that in the last 37 episodes, I haven't even told you my name. My name is Rollo Wenlock. All right, I'm now going to put it on the tripod because this handheld is horrific. God, the light in here is actually a lot better than the light in the other room. Thread. If you're in an agency, digital agency, production company or freelancer and you're watching this video, this is what your customers should be doing to win with content online, and this will allow you to make a lot more work. So share this video with them if you agree with what I'm saying, because it will help them work with you more. Thread. We've been talking about it a bit. It's come up in a number of these episodes, but I wanted to go just a little bit deeper. So earlier I drew a line. And so if you imagine people on it, they can walk along, and you've made it relatively easy for them to know where to go to follow along your thread. Maybe it's a little bit like Hansel and Gretel, and you drop crumbs for them to follow, and so they know where to go. Now, much like we said before, you have a little walkway there, a bit of darkness there, and you have to get over this, and it's hidden behind there. And this is much more like a very difficult game that you might play. So this might be a little bit more like Prince of Persia when you were a young person, and the prince or the princess of Persia needs to jump from here and jump to there, and then they have to get past the saw that's spinning at high speed and try not to get mangled in there before they jump down there, and then climb up there, and then up there, and then down there, right? So now imagine that your audience is trying to follow along with your company, right? They're trying to follow along with your stories and what you're trying to tell them and your messages and all those fun things, hopefully more fun than just trying to sell them stuff. So imagine that your audience is this person, and they're really busy and they've got heaps to do, and you're asking them to do a massive jump and land down here, and basically, oh, and also remember this is all pitch black as well. This is pitch black, and you know it's kind of pitch black up here too. So this is the pitch blackness is the idea that people are very busy, the internet's very full, there's a lot of stuff going on, there's a lot of things to take your attention. So it's pitch black, and you have to jump in the pitch black from piece to piece. You have to ask wizards. You have to ask wizards which way to go, and they tell you a riddle, and then you have to answer the riddle, and then you jump there and you get caught in the bandsaw, and you're in pieces, and you're in that sticky stuff, right? So this is not this, because this is actually what you want. So this is when you make content that doesn't follow a thread, and it doesn't have anything to take you from one piece to another, and it doesn't have any continuum. Maybe it doesn't have an overarching theme or story or anything that people can follow along with, and it's not very apparent to them that there's somewhere for them to go next, and that you're making it really difficult. So only the people who love a really difficult challenge, maybe people with a little bit too much spare time, would want to do this, to follow along with your thing, right? So now imagine this person is up here, and they've got a pleasant walkway, and along the way is a little table with a nice drink that they can pick up and carry on their walk, pick up that nice drink, and then over here is a nice newspaper, and they can read that, and then they can take a seat here, right? And they can read the paper and have the drink, and then a friend comes along over here, and they have a chit chat, or maybe that person's making some music. They have a chit chat, but it's all pretty obvious where to be. It's just one continual line, and it's pretty straightforward and pretty easy to understand how to be there and what to do. And so they stay with you. It's nice drinks, newspapers, somebody to sit, friends to talk to. They come along. You might even have a shop. Imagine that. You might have a shop, and you might sell them a lovely vase that they might want to take home. So all these are emblematic of having a thread that they're following, and that you're making it very easy to understand where to go to next. You're making things in terms of content, you're making it episodical. You're giving it a theme, making it very obvious what to do next. You're giving them things to look forward to because they can see into the future and they see where it is. And in this world, you can do all sorts of things as long as they're having a nice time. So, give them a drink, give them a newspaper, give them a seat, give them a lot of other things. And so this is really the difference between having a thread and not having a thread. And in the world of content, if you don't have a thread, you're making it infinitely harder for people to engage with you, follow along. Imagine if you're walking along here and you say, "Oi, friend," who's over there somewhere, and they get off the bus. "Oi, friend, join me." Pretty easy for a friend to join in, so social sharing, getting people onto the other thread. They all walk along. Imagine if you were here. Imagine if this is you and you say, "Oi, friend, get off the bus and join me here." And they're like, "Oh my God." And then like, "Look, it's pitch black, but we're going to jump down and talk to the wizard and see if we can find out where the next piece is. But look how there's also a huge spinning wheel of death over here." And your friend goes, "I'd rather not. I'm actually rather busy and I'd rather go to the fish and chip shop. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to go and hang out with that other company because their thread's a little more obvious." So if you get rid of that, and now you think, okay, what is the content version of that thread? Right? So you've got maybe episodical stuff, so it's pretty obvious what's coming up next because you follow it and you know what's coming up next. There's essentially a theme to the whole thing, so you know why you're there and you know what it's about and you like it, you agree with it, you want to go on that street and go for a walk down and have a look at the shops. As you go along, you're offered things, you're offered other white papers and other things to look at and other things to join and maybe free gifts along the way, all sorts of things. Maybe free trial of your software, which is like the lemonade. All those things happen. And then as you go along there, the newspaper is basically some more valuable content that came from somewhere else, and you're given that. You're given somewhere to sit, which means you may have joined a webinar and you're sitting there with them, spending time on the thread, spending more time with people, meeting some new people, having a good time, and then you might go into the shop, right? The shop that just is it's around, make one iota of effort to go and find it. And you might go in there and you might buy some products and some services because products and services make sense on this thread, on the street, because it's all related. What this whole thread is about the value of what that product actually sells to solve the problems that you're talking about. Now, you come down here to somebody without a thread. You go, "Well, here's a video," and then that video relates to that video, and they're like, "Great." And maybe there's a thread with them, and they're like, "Great," and then it ends. And they're like, "Right, so now we're going to talk about something else." I'm like, "Okay, we're going to talk about something else." And you get a few likes, a few thumbs up. How do you do a thumbs up? Like that. And then it's over. And then you do something else, right? And then it's about a different theme, it's about a different thing. Might be a little bit too heavy on the sales. Like, we're like, "Hey, we've got a shop." And they're like, I don't really care that you've got a shop because I'm not on your street. And they're like, "Come to our shop." I'm like, "No, I'd rather not." And then totally separate thing, another video about something else, went to an event that doesn't relate at all to anything else. And you kind of see the theme, right? There's nothing tying this together. There's no street to walk down. There's no lemonade. All you've done is create a few paving stones in the middle of nowhere and said, "Hey, there's a shop here." Can you imagine going to a street, let's call it a residential street, which has one shop on it, and all there is a massive sign out the front saying "shop" and no foot traffic, nothing. But then somebody pays for a bus of people to turn up, and that bus just pulls up outside of that one shop. Everyone is forced off the bus, go into that shop. And they're like, "Oh, I'd go into that shop." And they're like, "Okay." They wander around, it's all a bit awkward. They're like, "Oh, I don't really understand what the shop's about. I don't really want to be here." You're like, "Right, get back on the bus." And then they're off to some other thing, right? That's what this is like. This is the high street. This is the high street of London, the high streets of New York. Lots of foot traffic, lots of things. It makes sense. All the shops have been put there because it fits in a theme. People want to hang out. They want to go to cafes, have a drink, go and buy some stuff, listen to some music, have a good time, bring their friends down because it's nice to be there. It all makes sense. So this is the value of having a thread as a company. And this is for you brands, right? But also on the agency side, digital agencies, advertising agencies, production companies, freelancers who are working with brands, this is how you get lots of work with them. Because when it makes sense, you need to fill it up. And it's not like, oh, I need to fill it up, what a waste of time. It's like, you need to fill it up because it's working. So that's all I wanted to say about threads. See you tomorrow. Thread.